Hello, good evening. It's 5 p.m. Welcome to 505. Coming up tonight, the Christian Council of Ghana condemns the physical assault on a handcuffed Christian cleric at the police headquarters, describing it as a gross violation of human dignity and the rule of law. We have details of a statement released by the council a while ago over the viral video in which a Muslim was seen assaulting a pastor at the police headquarters. Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service has arrested a total of 3 people over the incident.
I've been the safe and because I'm trying to get them benza they regret that. Once you do not regret for what you said, you don't even apologize to say sorry. You are even wanted to explain yourself. It's only fool.
Well, stay with us for a 360 on this developing story. Also coming up in this bulletin, police killed 2 supported robbers in a failed bank robbery attempt at Laboni. Well, TDC Ghana Limited and Tema Metropolitan Assembly dispute escalates over demolition of Tema Community 1 project. Also tonight, Kumasi Technical University, chapter of the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana threatens to withdraw academic services if salaries and arrears owed to 15 post-retirement contract lecturers are not validated and paid this month.
If by the validation period in this month, the affected faculty are not validated, we will be compelled to withdraw our services.
And in business tonight,
Ghana's economy expands 5.1% in May 2026. We have more at 5:50.
We have these and more stories plus some interesting analysis to do. Stay with us. We're coming to you live from our studios here at digital address 0042358 North Laboni. Third Daddy work on class 91.3 FM in Accra. We also live on Ho FM 92.5, Hills 91.7 at Daklu, both in the Volta region. Max Empire 96.9 at Bazuwa in the Upper East region. Dagbon FM 102.5 in Tamale Radio Park 96 in Spain. We're live on Facebook. Connect with us or join us with a thought, comment, and contributions with a hashtag 505. Alternatively through our WhatsApp number 0500,000 202. My name is Kwame Okyere Jnr. It's time. It's 505. Welcome. On to the very first story. 2 religious leaders are in police custody following separate investigations into viral videos containing alleged insightful and derogatory remarks about Prophet Muhammad, while a 3rd suspect has been arrested over an assault on one of the detainees while he was handcuffed at the police headquarters. The Ghana Police Service, working with the National Signals Bureau, arrested 35-year-old Imam Masood Abdallah over a video in which he allegedly encouraged violence against individuals who speak disparagingly of a prophet. The remarks were reportedly made during a sermon at the mosque in Tesere in the Atwima Nwabieja North District of the Ashanti region. In a separate operation, the police cyber vetting and enforcement team arrested Daniel Jr. Yao Ejay, widely known as Apostle Daniel J.Y. Ejay, over a different video in which he allegedly made derogatory and offensive comments about Prophet Muhammad. The police have confirmed that the 2 cases are unrelated and arose from independent investigations. My colleague Caleb Ahinakwa joins me in studio with details on how all of these happened. Caleb, fill us in.
Right, so it's been an interesting development, and when it comes to our religious discourse this past few weeks, and so things got out of hand when this particular pastor, who we know as Daniel Ejay, was said to have gone on social media to make some comment against the Prophet Muhammad, one that didn't sit well with the Muslim community. As a result of that, some few days after, we see another video resurface on social media, this time around a Muslim cleric making some form of insightful comment, of which I wouldn't want to quote him, but summarize exactly what he said, threatening and asking that it's about time we attack and kill people who speak falsely about the Prophet Muhammad. Fast forward, we have the Sheikh Arimiao also call for some investigation and interrogation into the matter. And as a result of that, not so long after, we have a lot of conversations in, the airwaves, radio, TV, newspaper, social media, people wondering what is happening.
Yeah.
And so I believe strongly that this got to the attention of the police, and the right thing was done. Some arrests were made, and arrests being that not one person but two people were arrested: the Muslim cleric as well as the pastor. But there's a third person in the picture, and we might be wondering what exactly this third person did.
Exactly.
This third person in the picture didn't necessarily make any insightful comment. Rather, he assaulted the pastor who was arrested. He was handcuffed. We may want to listen to him, sound footage of what exactly happened at the police headquarters.
Momo make sure I've been the safe because I'm trying to get them benza they regret to that. Once you do not regret for what you said, you don't even apologize to say sorry. You are even wanted to explain yourself. It's only fool who doesn't know I'm sorry. Or do you have mental problem? You don't have mental problem. So intentionally did what you are doing. And are you the only pastor? Where have you reached with your pastorship? Where have you reached?
Have you ever seen this video before? Have you ever seen it?
So there you have what exactly happened there.
Exactly. So after that assault was inflicted on the pastor, the arrest was made. He was also arrested.
Yeah.
And so these are the series of events that have happened, and in a matter of just barely 2 weeks. And we're also picking reports that the pastor has been released because he's been granted bail, and we are yet to confirm, but we are being told that Reverend Intim Fojo secured the bail of it, but we don't know of the others. But
exactly.
This has been some interesting developments in the religious discourse. There's been some fears around security, amongst other matters. But thankfully, the Christian Council of Ghana have come out to also speak to the matter. I believe you have some more details on that.
Right, Caleb, thank you so much for giving us that. So just like indicated, the Christian Council of Ghana has condemned the physical assaults of a handcuffed Christian cleric at the police headquarters, warning that the reckless actions of a few individuals must not be allowed to derail the nation's hard-won religious harmony. In a statement issued a while ago, the Christian Council of Ghana described the assault as a gross violation of basic human dignity and the rule of law, following a volatile chain of events that has placed the country on edge over the past few days. My colleague Zita Okwan joins me in studio with details of what a Christian Council statement say. Zita, tell us more.
Well, KOJ, as you rightly mentioned, the Christian Council has strongly condemned the physical assaults incited upon the Christian cleric who was seen being slapped while in police custody. The act you mentioned that they described as grossly violates basic human dignity and the rule of law. So the Christian Council has categorically condemned any purported insults or attacks directed at the Prophet Muhammad, as well as the subsequent incitement to violence by the Muslim cleric. So it goes on to call on they are calling on both Christians and Muslims across the nation to exercise immediate maximum restraint and avoid any further reprisal actions, whether online or offline. At the latter part of their statement, the council has tasked the security services to deal with these infractions dispassionately, swiftly, and strictly according to law, without any recourse to religion, creed, or sentiment. So at the latter part, they are calling on the security service to take action on persons who will be found, whether online or offline, inciting such comments. This is a statement coming from the Christian Council of Ghana. KOG.
Right, Zita, thank you so much. So that's my colleague in Parliament, Zita Okwan, giving us what the Christian Council of Ghana is also saying regarding this matter. We'll have the security perspective into this particular discussion, and Emmanuel Kuting, as a security analyst, he unfortunately I've lost him on the line. We're trying so much to put him on the line, but the minister the Interior Minister has ordered a probe into the conduct of officers who may have facilitated or permitted the breach. So we're trying to get his perspective into the matter. Unfortunately, we do not have him on the line. We'll put him on the line so we'll get him. This is 505 here on Class 91.3 FM in Accra, across the country and across the world on classfmonline.com. To some other stories now. Well, two suspected robbers have been shot dead after the Ghana Police Service foiled an attempted robbery at the Ghana Commercial Bank branch in Laboni. The suspects allegedly attempted to carry out a robbery at the bank, but police personnel responded and managed to thwart the operation. Two of the suspects were shot dead during the police intervention, while a third suspect was arrested and is currently in police custody. The police service says investigations are ongoing to establish the circumstances surrounding the incidents and determine whether other persons may have been involved. My colleague who was at the venue, Portia, joins me in studio. Portia, what do we need to know as far as this incident at Laboni is concerned?
Okay, so KOG, after the incidents happened, I went on ground and speaking with some of the eyewitnesses. They said the person I spoke to said he was present at when the incidents happened, and according to him, he heard a gunshot from where the Zenith Bank is. So on social media, there is a lot of controversies going on that it's from the incidents happened at the Ghana Commercial Bank. The reason being that is the Ghana Commercial Bank is right behind the Zenith Bank.
Okay.
So the eyewitness said he heard the gunshot from the Zenith Bank while he was waiting for his boss outside a restaurant that was closer to the bank. And he also confirmed that there were 3 robbers, and also that one of the robbers was shot by the police on his leg. And the third person, which was shot on his leg, was sent to the police custody to assist in investigation. So let's listen to what the eyewitness said.
And my parking me madam. Well, my corner is here. Maza, my corner is here. With your boss, who are semi watch cars, as a mutabe, yes, and your man be bank, Zenith Bank warranty. Intermediate metia, the metia, the Twakasa was Zenith Bank, pack, 6 gunshots. Timsoli wa kunya to general ngashwa the man wan say pick up bako afa in a way car no for example Land Cruiser bi so swim speed until after gunshot you know ya general na ye bon komo say oh honorable senior police for and na we my friends say police ni national security for no almost o ma dress it say mafias ya wa ya kasa Andrew be 20 minutes no so after ma free kona mo wemba na we pick up green so free I say ba ebidem until the nenim o man ko bi that means o man go room sa ba baby agina no security for so town mo to mu until but underbus for no mo we say driver no o mo be two for mo say ya born kon echi.
So that's the eyewitness accounts. Has the bank, any of the banks, reacted to this development?
Yes, KOJ. The Ghana Commercial Bank released a statement of which they refute that the incidents happened at the bank. But the Zenith Bank is yet to release a statement.
Okay, I see. Thank you, Portia, for giving us what you also saw at the Laboni branch of the Ghana Commercial Bank. This is 505 here on Class 91.3 FM in Accra, across the country and across the world on classfmonline.com. Let me speak with fraud and crime prevention consultant Richard Kumado. Mr. Kumado, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time on 505.
Welcome.
This is not the first time we're recording such an incident at the bank, but what happened this afternoon? What might have caused it? Who might have who might have caused this particular incident at the bank today?
No, cause it means what, for them to be arrested or to make the robbery attempt.
The robbery I'm talking about. What might have caused this robbery?
Oh no, June, July, August it's a peak area. It's a peak season for financial crime and for robbery activities before we get to November. So I believe it's one of those fraud and crime assessment they have done at the bank for some time. And if you know where the GCB is in Laboni, it's an area where it's an open place. What we need to be asking ourselves whether do they have enough police officers? Because the banks have always asked for police officers, and they are not enough to give each branch. So that is what we need to be asking, how they are going to work their way around it going forward. Considering the fact that if you are not within a cluster place where there are other banks, then you are likely to have police officers coming to your branch on a rotating manner, and that would have created some level of laxity or ineffectiveness of security capacity for the bank, especially when the private security company staff might not be having weapons in their hands. So that is exactly what happened.
So this incident didn't really happen in the bank. So the criminals, or so to speak, were monitoring movement outside and into the bank.
Exactly. Either they were waiting for specie. There's something we call specie, movement of money. Either they were waiting for money to be moved out and they attack the van and take the money, or money should be coming in, or the bank should reach the peak where they believe that a lot of people have paid in money. So kudos to those who observe their movement and raise the alarm.
But I know that like you mentioned, every bank has a police officer. I mean, in terms of security.
Not every bank. It has always been. My days in the banking industry, my days in the banking area, there are a lot of banks, and you may not have police officers stationed at a particular branch for a very long time. If we have the numbers and they have it, that is fine. And if your branch is isolated, you might have some level of challenges. If it's within a cluster, then you are going to have about 4 police officers within the space. And irrespective of where they are, they can still provide a protective cover for officers working within the bank. But if it's about specie movement, you know the issue of bullion vans, the specialized one, and how many officers will have to accompany the bullion van, either they are bringing in money or not. If those procedures are followed, it adds up to the security control and the protective cover. Other than that, they will need to do their assessment again.
According to residents around that area, same incident happened last week, but the criminals made their way through. What can be done subsequently, not specifically to this bank, but every bank going forward to ensure that this species you're talking about, customers coming into the bank and out the bank, are being protected or are being safe after transactions?
Improve the physical security environment, improve the relationship with law enforcement officers, particularly police headquarters in Accra. That is if you are in Accra. But wherever you are, improve the physical security arrangements, improve the operational alertness of your officers, and ensure that you have the right security systems, the alarm systems that may trigger that the police, irrespective of where they are, they may come to your aid. Then, if you are not in a cluster area, you will need to make some level of additional response, additional arrangements for you to have law enforcement officers for a longer period. And if you are within a cluster area, then the branches will need to hold emergency meetings and find out what they can do more in terms of alertness, in terms of having the officers on site at all times.
Mr. Kumado, let me thank you for your time this evening.
You're
so
welcome.
that's fraud and crime prevention consultant Richard Kumado. Let me take you to Tema, because a dispute between Tema Development Corporation, that's TDC Ghana Limited, and the Tema Metropolitan Assembly has escalated following a demolition of portions of a TDC development project at Tema Community 1, Site 3. The two state institutions have offered contrasting accounts of the dispute. TDC maintains that the project was being undertaken under a long-standing government-to-government agreement, while the TMA insists that all physical development within the metropolis must comply with statutory planning and permitting requirements. TDC Managing Director Courage Makafui Nekweku described the demolition carried out by TMA on Wednesday, August 12, 2026 as extremely unfortunate. According to him, the action is inconsistent with the government's commitment to infrastructure development, job creation, and improved living conditions. The disagreement has raised questions about the processes governing development projects undertaken by state institutions and the need for closer coordination between TDC and TMA. I have been joined on the phone by the Managing Director of TDC Ghana Limited, Courage Makafui Nekweku. Mr. Nekweku, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time on 505.
Good evening, my brother. It's been a long time.
Very well. Yes, I'm doing very well. I trust you're doing very well too.
Yes.
Great.
Thank God for life.
Very well. What exactly happened at the Tema Community 1 Site 3 project yesterday, and what portions of the development were demolished?
Well, thank you, and let me say hi to listeners and viewers all over the world. Thank you for as well. What happened is that we have a project that we started about 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. It's one of our catalog of projects we have earmarked since absorption of office. We have a lot of projects. This particular one is 7 of them that have been put together. Then yesterday, in fact, I was somewhere when I had a call from my people that a group of people have gone to the site to vandalize the hoarding, vandalize the profiling, and also the materials that are on site. And some of the workers were also molested and asked never to step foot at the site. So I was far away, so I couldn't reach there. And upon further inquiry, it came clearly that the whole exercise was led by the mayor of Tema, that is Eddie Bright, who led the troop there to go and do that. Earlier on, we received a letter from the TMA that we should provide or take steps to get permits and some few other, documentation prior to the commencement of the project. We got that letter on the 10th. As a matter of fact, the letter is dated on the 7th. I'm sure your reporters have that letter. They can make it available to you. It's dated on the 7th, and we got it on the 10th. So the next day, we had a management meeting and quickly responded and delivered a letter saying to the assembly that we have a long-standing relationship to the extent that whatever project we are doing, we are not supposed to, get the permit for the project.
Yeah.
In that same vein, when they also need a land, we give it out for free once the land is available. And when you even give them land and they build properties, be it commercial or whatever they are using, we cannot go there and take grant permit. That relationship, that understanding has existed for decades, more than 4 decades. And that has been a situation. So we were surprised when we got that letter. So we responded accordingly that this is the relationship between us. So we are shocked that this is coming on. However, if they want to change the narrative, they should let us know so that we can know how to proceed forward. Then, in their letter, they stated that 7 days is given to us to respond. So we were expecting that, having received our letter, either they will respond to us or we will take the steps to start the permit process if the narrative is changing now. Only for us to get the news yesterday that they have moved to site. If you calculate 7th, it's expected that the letter will expire maybe on the 14th.
Yeah.
So on the 12th, they went to the site and did what happened. Most unfortunate, because we thought that this is government agencies to agencies. Some of these things are totally unnecessary, and especially coming at the background of job creation and the building of infrastructure. If you look at the space we are talking about and the edifice we are building, these are huge edifices. That when we finish these structures, apart from during the construction period, you are creating a lot of jobs in excess of over 400 contractors. Basins, architects, engineers, painters, vendors, name them. All these artisans are going to get job to do. When it's completed, people are going to be using that infrastructure, accountants, secretaries, cleaners, security, all of these things. This is how you build a nation. So it's most unfortunate. But having said that, I think we have petitioned our superiors. We work under a ministry. The assemblies also work under a ministry. So I'm sure our various ministers will put their heads together and call all of us to order. And this issue will be resolved once and for all. It's not a standing relationship that we have with only Tema TMA or Tema Metropolitan Assembly. It's something that cut across. Our land, the 63 miles square, cut across a lot of assemblies. They are dealing with about 6 assemblies: Tema West, TMA, Mukatamansu, Ashama, and even a part of Adenta and Kroll. These are all assemblies that we deal with. So we built a lot of infrastructure over the years. Committee 2, we have an infrastructure, a huge building there, no permit. That was done far back, about 10 years ago. We didn't take any permit. Even we're in contention now. If you go there, we have huge structures, high-rise structures, 10-story building, 8-story building. We didn't take any permit because of the convention.
Sure.
When you go to Ashama, same, with no permit. When you go to Tema West, we have shops there. Bunkatamansu, we are building now as we speak. By the time we finish, we'll be having about 1,200 or 1,100 and something, flats. All these structures are being done, no permit, because of that relationship we have with assemblies, that understanding. So we don't know what has happened. Suddenly, the TMA have changed the narrative. So this is exactly
I see.
happened.
So the deadline was supposed to be on the 14th, which is tomorrow, but unfortunately the TMA went contrary to what was stated. Many have raised issues or questions that does it suggest that there is a long-standing issue between the two, because TDC and TMA haven't recorded this incident before, but for this new administration. Is there anything that the TMA boss, Ebi Bright, has raised, or is there any long-standing issue between the two which is causing this, for lack of better word, confusion between two government institutions?
My brother, unfortunately, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Even if there is some standing issues between us or a long race between us, I don't think it should affect our
Exactly.
job.
Yeah.
We are government, representative of the president or government. TDC is 100% owned by the state.
Yeah.
Okay. And same assembly. The one who appointed the TMA boss is the same person who appointed him.
Sure.
We are supposed to work in collaboration. We are supposed to work and show leadership, show maturity, and create jobs. We set the space that has been given to us to manage. So regardless, you may not like me, but we have a job to do. Let's do it. I may not like you, but we have a job to do. Let's do it. And that has been my principle in life. So, yes, maybe, I don't know, but I'm sure when we get there, we'll get to know if there are issues that people are holding on and are exhibiting personal issues. That shouldn't be the case. Personal issues should not create problem for people not to get jobs to do.
Exactly.
Not create problem not to get infrastructure. We may have it, but we probably have to share it and allow, we should bury our egos and let the citizens benefit from what the president.
Sure, I agree. I totally agree with you. But beyond the petition to your superiors, what next on the part of TDC, based on the unfortunate incident you say happened yesterday?
Well, what next is that we still hold on to the fact that there is a good standing agreement between us. If they renege on that, they should let us know. We are expecting that even our letter will be responded to. That, look, we are not more interested in that long-standing agreement. We are no more interested. Get permits. Then we will know the next step to take quickly. Okay, but until that, we believe that it still stands, and we will proceed with whatever we are doing. But if they write to us today that, look, we are no more interested in that long-standing agreement, then we will advise ourselves and proceed to do the needful.
the needful means drag it to courts or legal battle here?
No, we will not do that. We will not do that. Go to court. I mean, this is a TMA. If I go to court and I win a case, whose money are they going to use to pay? Is it not the taxpayers' money? It's my money. It's your money. That's why I am disturbed, because the distraction that took place yesterday, we are going to pay for it. The contractors are going to raise variation or raise a bill for us to pay. And whose money are they going to use? The taxpayers' money. Your money, my money. So why should we go to that extent? No matter, regardless of the situation, we could have talked. We could have talked. We could have taken the vandalism out of this whole thing. We could have taken the demolition, the destruction, all out of this thing, and say, let's talk. Okay? Let's petition superior authorities. There are laws. There are restrictions. There are regulations. And moreover, we are at the helm of affairs. Okay, so I don't think that we're going to go to court or do whatever. If they insist that we should get permit before we operate there, well, when we get there, we'll cross it. You know me very well. I'm a very, by nature, violence is not part of me. I've been with you. We're doing a campaign. We work together for a very long time. You know me. You know me. I don't think this is what I am for. And I'm not comfortable with what is going on. But I am certain that cool heads will prevail, and we'll be able to make a headway.
I see. Courage, let me thank you so much for your time on the show, and I hope that. But have you heard anything from your superior after the petition?
Yes, we are constantly in touch. We've spoken this morning, this afternoon, even this evening. Messages are going on. It will be resolved. I know it will be resolved.
What is assurance given so far?
Oh, there's assurance that everything will be fine. Everything will be fine.
Okay. Courage, let me thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. So that's Courage Makafuni Nekweku, who is the managing director of TDC Ghana Limited. So that's a very interesting but unfortunate incident happened between two government agencies, where for which the two that's the managing director and the mayor, all being appointed by same presidents. That's the president, John Dramani Mahama. Unfortunate there. Let's have your messages 0500 We'll go back to the Christian Council of Ghana, because we'll have a conversation with them on the statement they brought and what they think should be done as far as this particular religious banter is concerned. 33 minutes after 5, you're on Class 91.3 across the country and across the world on classfmonline.com. You know that earlier the Christian Council of Ghana brought in a statement condemning the situation, of course, calling it reckless action of a few individuals who they say must not be allowed to derail a hard-won religious harmony. Of course, we'll get to them and have a conversation. Let me speak with Reverend Amuzu, who is in charge of Interfaith Christian Council of Ghana. Rev, good evening to you. I'm grateful for your time on 505.
Yeah, good evening, Kewode. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Great.
I see. So you are condemning what's you are condemning what exactly happened between the two religious faiths. First of all, what do you know as far as this particular incident, and what can we do, or what can you do as far as your and for the Christian Council is concerned?
Yes, we have a long history of pursuing interfaith collaborations on different platforms with our Muslim brothers and sisters, and so we receive with shock and utter dismay the tensions that are rising between a section of the Christian fraternity and our colleagues on the other side. And so we'll continue with our engagements, and in the immediate sense, we want the law to take its course, so that people do not hide under religious identities or political identities to perpetrate crime. Crime is crime, irrespective of who is involved.
Are you going to have a conversation with the said pastor who made those comments against the Muslim community, for which the Muslim community are not too excited about, also making some comments about Christianity?
Yes, that would be a welcome opportunity, because sometimes some of the public think that Christian Council has on our fold all the churches in Ghana. No, many of the churches, especially the charismatic and Pentecostal churches, are not within our ecumenical family, and so it's difficult to get in touch with some of these people and seek to collaborate with them to bring some sanity and some proper theologization within the space. But tomorrow we will be meeting the IGP in the morning, and so because they have picked up that Christian cleric, it's possible to get his identity from the police, and if the arrangements permit, we will have some word with him.
What's going to be the conversation with the police, the IGP you mentioned?
Oh, it's about this issue. Tensions are rising. The tensions are rising because the attacks and counterattacks are inflaming passions. This is why, even at the presence of the police, one of our friends at the other side, was so infuriated that he had to assault somebody who was in handcuffs. The person was practically helpless, defenseless, and he couldn't even attack. So how do you slap him? The person is already, in the grace of the law. So how do you take the law into your own hands by assaulting him right in the presence of law enforcement authorities? That is unacceptable.
Will this be an opportunity for the Christian Council to caution pastors on certain comments they make, whether or not in the public? Because you would agree that, as part of preaching in the church, they would also want to make certain comment about one certain religion, certain individuals who are in the church or outside the church. Is this an opportunity for the Christian Council to caution all pastors, whether or not they are members of the Christian Council of Ghana?
Ensure that we educate the Christian cleric on our side, because we do not have direct access to everybody. Those that are within our family, we are able to talk about some of these discourses to ensure that in practicing our religion, Christianity for that matter, we do not infringe upon the right of others. Of course, there are laws that kick against inflaming passions, using unsavory language, using divisive or intemperate language to promote your religion. Because you have the right to practice your religion, others also have the right to practice their religion. So you cannot use the practice of your religion to create nuisance for others who also have equal right to practice their religion. And so we will continue to do the advocacy. We will continue to engage to ensure that we are more civil and more guided in our religious persuasions, in our religious discourses.
Right. Reverend, let me thank you for your time this evening. I'm grateful. So that's Reverend Godwin Amuzu, who is in charge of Interfaith Christian Council and Ecumenical of the Christian Council of Ghana. This is 505 here on Class 91.3 FM in Accra, across the country and across the world on classfmonline.com.
30 years ago, MTN arrived in Ghana and everything changed. Now, to celebrate 30 years, we are giving back big time. The MTN at 30 promo is here. 9 Toyota Land Cruiser Prados to be won. Over 10 million Ghana cedis in rewards, plus so much more. Connect to your everyday hustle on MTN. Make video calls. Browse the internet for business with family and friends. Connect your home to MTN Fiber. Make that money move on Momo and stay ahead, because every move counts. Ghana, let's celebrate 30 years of MTN with the MTN at 30 30 promo. Use more MTN services, build more points, and win big. Dial *530# or visit the My MTN app for more.
Crunch go day, say a party, mini me a chomo, crunchy, chilling with friends, mini me a chomo, tasty, take chuck your hunger, mini me a chomo, crunchy, break time please, mini me a chomo, tasty, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, come and taste the fun, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, come and taste the fun. For the laughter, mini mini, mini me a chomo. All the parties, mini mini, mini me a chomo. Let's go dancing, mini mini, mini me a chomo. Taste the mini mini, mini me a chomo.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back from that quick commercial break. Some 42 minutes after 5, young class 91.3. To other stories, the race for the next leadership for the New Patriotic Party has been pushed to October 3, with the party revising its earlier September 18 to 20 timetable as prospective aspirants prepare to battle for key positions ahead of the 2028 elections. The new dates was announced by the chairman of the NPP's National Elections Committee, Frederick Opariansa, at a press conference at the party's headquarters. It replaces the earlier timetable announced by the party's General Secretary, Justin Frimpong Korea, on February 18, 2026, when he said the national executive elections would be held between September 18 and 20, 2026. Under the earlier schedule, nominations were to open from August 10 to August 14. Filing was scheduled for August 15 to August 17, and vetting was to take place from August 20 to August 23, with appeals on August 28 and August 29. The MPP has now revised those dates, with nominations opening on August 17 and closing on August 22, while filing of nominations will take place from August 23 to August 27. Vetting is scheduled for August 31 to September 3, 2026. With the outcome expected to be published on September 5. Appeals will be heard on September 6 and September 7, followed by National Executive Committee and National Council Committee meeting on September 10. The notice of poll will then be published on September 14, ahead of the October 3 elections. Listen.
The rules and arrangements we are announcing are therefore intended to provide a clear framework within which all aspirants, delegates, and stakeholders can participate in the process. Our overriding principle is simple. The rules must be known in advance, they must be applied fairly, and they must apply equally to everyone. I wish to draw particular attention to the election timetable. The process begins next week. From the 17th to the 22nd of August 2026 will be opening and closing of nominations. From the 23rd to the 27th of August will be for filing of nomination forms. The 31st of August to 3rd September will be for vetting of aspirants. On the 5th of September, which happens to be my birthday, we will publish the vetting results.
So that's the chairman of the committee. Well, he also says the all prospective aspirants and their supporters to conduct their campaigns responsibly and avoid activities that could deepen divisions within the party. He says the internal contests must not undermine the unity of the MPP as it prepares for the 2028 general elections.
I want to address prospective aspirants directly. The National Elections Committee welcomes healthy competition. Competition for leadership is part of the democratic character of our party. We therefore expect aspirants and their supporters to campaign vigorously for the confidence of delegates. But we also expect that competition to be conducted with respect to one another, respect for the party, and respect for the rules governing the election. At the end of this process, there must still be one new patriotic party. No individual ambition should be greater than the collective interest of the party.
Well, he also spelled out the prices for each position.
The approved cost of nomination forms is as follows. For the national chairmanship position, it's 50,000 Ghana cedis. For vice chairpersons, 30,000 Ghana cedis. For the general secretary position, 25,000 Ghana cedis. All other positions, 10,000 Ghana cedis, with a special consideration for the special wings. Nasara, women, and youth paying 8,000 Ghana cedis. Payment for nomination forms will be accepted in cash or by cash check at the National Headquarters at Asylum Dam. Upon payment of the prescribed fee, the aspirant will be issued with an official receipt, upon presentation of which the appropriate nomination form will be issued. Nomination forms may also be downloaded from the party's website. However, an aspirant who downloads the form must still pay the prescribed nomination fee in cash or by check and obtain an official receipt before the completed form can be accepted for filing.
So that's Opare Ansa, who is the chairman of the elections committee for the New Patriotic Party. Let me take you to the Ashanti region because I take you to the Ashanti region because the Kumasi Technical University chapter of the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana has threatened to withdraw academic services if salaries and arrears owed to 15 post-retirement contract lecturers are not validated and paid by the end of August. The association says the affected lecturers have worked without pay for periods of up to 12 months, with only 3 of the 18 post-retirement contract lecturers currently receiving their salaries. Chapter Chairman Bismarck Kwaku Parker says failure to resolve the matter during the ongoing payroll validation exercise will trigger industrial action. He says the strike could affect examinations, project supervisions, theses, defenses, and graduation ceremonies at the university.
Post-retirement contract faculty of Kumasi Technical University having received salary for reasons that are unclear to us. In September 2025, we observed that some post-retirement faculty, contract faculty were not paid by controller. We followed up to GTEC and controller. GTEC only indicated it wasn't their fault, while controller said it's only implementing directive from the Ministry of Finance. Unfortunately, in October 2025, January 2026, and March 2026, at this juncture, we have just one clear demand, that the ministries and agencies we have already mentioned ensure that the affected faculty are validated this month for payment and paid along with their arrears on them. What we mean is that if by the...
Meanwhile, the University Hospital Legon has suspended its general outpatient specialist clinics and pharmacy counseling services until further notice following the ongoing strike by the Ghana Association of University Administrators. The hospital says its emergency department remains operational and will continue to provide care to patients requiring emergency medical attention. GAWA is currently on strike over concerns about the implementation of its conditions of service and other outstanding welfare issues. The association says the concerns remain unresolved despite engagement with relevant authorities. Let me speak with the president of the Ghana Association of University Administrators, Reverend Kweku Kakariamoa. Reverend, I'm grateful for your time on 505. So, what exactly are the outstanding issues that led to the declaration of the current industrial action? Again, how long have these concerns over your conditions of service been outstanding?
All right, thank you very much, and good evening to your listeners. Yes, so we have a lot of concerns. Some of the concerns have traveled over 4 years. The one that breaks the camel's back is the lack of conduct and discrimination in our negotiation with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and for that matter, the government of Ghana. We, at the beginning of the year, presented our conditions of service to the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, knowing that at the end of every 2 years, we do negotiations. In fact, let me be quick to add that as it stands now, GAWA doesn't have the conditions of service. So we thought it wise that for this year's round of negotiations, we would have to negotiate for our own conditions of service.
Mm-hmm.
When the time came for us to engage the commission, they told us that government has instructed them not to do a full cycle negotiation, but pick some 2 items on our pay slips and add a modest adjustment to those items. It was a back and forth thing until we all agreed. We suggested some items which they declined and said that government wants to negotiate with us on the non-basic and market premium. The percentage that will be given will be added to the percentages that will be added to these 2 items will be given a new name. We inquired about the new name. They said when we get to the bridge, we'll cross. So we shouldn't rush into it. Quick forward or fast forward. We finished these negotiations and signed off in April with the intention that it would take effect from 1st April because they told us this year government is not ready to pay arrears. April ended, we didn't hear anything from them. May ended, June. Then mid-July, we had a letter from Ministry of Finance telling us that what we negotiated for is a replacement of our market premium. 2, that the effective date will be 1st July instead of 1st April. And again, thirdly, that that one was not spelled out in the letter, but when at the end of July, Controller and Accountant General was paying salaries of our members who received their salaries through Controller, only those in the registrar's office received this increment. So those in the Finance Directorate, Procurement, Works, Audits, IT, and the rest did not get it. Then we wrote back to, when we didn't receive the letter on the 16th or 17th July, we wrote back to Fair Wages and National Labour Commission that we have seen this, and this is the letter that we have received from Ministry of Finance is not what we negotiated for. Market premium is not negotiated on the desk. It is based on job evaluation.
Okay.
And we gave our reasons. From that time to today, today is the 27th or 28th day since we wrote the letter to Fair Wages and Labour Commission. No acknowledgement of receipts.
But we understand that you are meeting because of time, we understand you are meeting the Minister for Education this week, but tomorrow is Friday. Is the meeting happening tomorrow?
No. Unfortunately, the meeting has been postponed.
The
minister currently is with the President of the nation, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, in a visit to the northern sector of the country. So the director in charge of tertiary education tells us that the meeting will come off somewhere next week.
I see. Well, Reverend, let me thank you for your time this evening. So that's Reverend Kweku Kakari Amwa, who is the president of the Ghana Association of University Administrators there. This is 505 on Class 91.3 FM in Accra, across the country and across the world on classfmla.com. We're trying to speak with my colleague Esther Natal Missy Hambaba, who is currently at the University Hospital in Legon, to get him what it really is the situation at the hospital Yeah, there. So we'll put a start shortly on the line. Also have a conversation with him whether or not the services that have come to her, because students of the University of Ghana have registered their displeasure over the ongoing Ghana Association of University Administrators strike, saying it is disrupting both their academic work and access to healthcare on campus. The impact was immediately felt at the University of Ghana Hospital when the announcement of the suspension came. Esther, what can you tell us from the University Hospital in Legon?
Yes, okay, OJ, the situation here is very calm, still ongoing, as some departments are still working, but some departments related to the OPD and the OPD itself are closed since morning. But according to some investigations I did, patients have been coming there since morning for treatment, but no one is available to attend to them. Aside that, they have emergency cases that they are able to work on, or first aid that they are able to work on when patients walk in. So that is what is going on currently here at the University of Ghana Hospital.
I see. Are the students complaining about the effect it is having on them, apart from what you've mentioned, access to healthcare and all that?
Yes, so they are saying that they are not happy about the whole situation. So they are urging the government to speed up whatever issue that is between the Ghana University of Administrators and the government should speed up things with them so they can quickly resolve the issue to go back to work. So that is what they are saying, basically.
Esther, thank you for that update from the University Hospital in Legon. It's time for business, and Nana Jiman Prempe is here.
So in business tonight, KOJ, let me take you straight to the camp of the Ghana Statistical Service, because they've announced that Ghana's economy expanded by 5.1% in May 2026 compared to the same period last year, with the services sector remaining the biggest driver of growth despite an overall moderation in economic activity. The latest monthly indicator of economic growth released by the service showed that while the economy continued to grow, the pace slowed from the 6.6% recorded in May 2025. There is more in the following news report.
According to the reports, the services sector recorded the strongest performance, growing by 7.2% year-on-year in May 2026, only slightly below the 7.5% growth recorded a year earlier. The sector was largely supported by information and communication activities and remained the largest contributor to overall economic growth. Industry also maintained steady momentum, expanding by 4.2% compared to the 4.6% in May 2025. The growth in the sector was driven mainly by mining and quarrying, highlighting the continued resilience of Ghana's industrial activities. Agriculture, however, experienced a significant slowdown. The sector grew by 3.6% in May 2026, down sharply from 9.8% recorded in the corresponding period last year. GSS attributed the moderation partly to the exceptional strong performance recorded in May 2025, with growth in 2026 led by crops and livestock.
So that was the news desk report, and that's it for business. Back to you, KOJ.
Thank you, Prempe, for bringing us business. Let's do some few messages and then take leave of you. This one says, to be honest, I believe Honorable Ebi Bright may be taking the demolition exercise in Tema a little too far. I have no objection to demolitions where they are clearly necessary and form part of a well-defined development plan that will ultimately benefit the people of Tema. However, I'm concerned about the apparent imbalance. While some Ghanaian-owned businesses are being demolished, Chinese businesses appear to be occupying and developing spaces across Tema with little visible intervention. M-Boy in Tema came through that one. Bro, your message is very, very, very long, so I have to cut it short. Let me pick this one. John Abel says, good evening, KOJ. Please let's stop blaming pastors and Christians for defending the faith of Jesus Christ. Have you heard Muslim preaching before? All their preaching is about attacking Jesus Christ. Well, I can't tell, please. I have not heard about that. Let's stop that. Okay, Francis in Accra says it's shameful to hear what's going on between TDC and Tema Mayor, all because of who wants to become an MP in 2028. GM should change the TMA boss. She is doing things to disgrace the government because of her political ambition. Okay, GCB statement is disingenuous and disgusting. Ghana Police Service had done very well because I witnessed the action around morning star yet to Ghana Police Service is a real force to reckon with. Angelo Kojo Fiagbe shared this with us. Good evening, KOJ. Seems there's always confusion between TDC and the Assembly, but especially when it comes to collection of revenue. Ask your guest why. Okay, thank you for sharing that with us. Kwame, no individuals or group of people have the right to or moral to criticize any religion. In Ghana, you must bring citizens together in peace, not to separate us. Okay, Efo Komla shared that with us. On behalf of my team led by Nano Yankra, produced by Norinde Raja Crunch, I'm grateful for a company in the last 60 minutes. We came to you live from our studios here. Our digital address GO0423598. Not Laboni, third that they work on Class 91.3 FM in Accra, across the country and across the world on classfmline.com. We'll do this same time tomorrow at 5 p.m. Good evening, good night.